Now, have a listen to this. And my next guest has got a part to play in this. So, the young rising star, Whitney Houston star in Race for BAFTA Award, Naomi Ackie, who plays Whitney Houston in a new feature film about the late singer's life, is up for an award. So, just have a little listen to this.
Special guest in the audience tonight, legendary record executive, Mr. Clive Davis.
My voice is gone. What? You start the show tonight. No talking back. I'm your mother.
There's a boy I know. He's the one I dream of.
What's your name again?
Whitney Elizabeth Houston.
Wake up!
It's on. It's on. Listen.
How will I know if he really loves me?
My dream. Sing what I want to sing. Be how I want to
So
be.
Naomi plays the title role in that, is up for an award. And who coached her? Well, my lunch break guest today, Annie Skates from Claygate. Annie's a vocal coach, also coached Rami Malek for his role as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. Annie, such a joy to have you on the programme. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I mean, actually, just playing either of those, either Whitney or Freddie, quite some daunting task.
Oh, yes. I think they're both very brave because they knew they were going to be in for some flack. They were, somebody's always out there to get you. So, but both of them had amazing reviews, and all the feedback I've had has just been so positive. It's been wonderful. So
yeah, now we've just turned up for an award as a result of her performance. So of some some glowing comments. I mean, I've seen the Bohemian Rhapsody film, and he was quite incredible.
Yeah, he really took on Freddie. He did so much study. Not just the vocal side of it, but his mannerisms, his moves. I mean, he studied every little detail. I mean, Rami, I couldn't fault him. He was great.
Did you know right from the beginning that he was gonna be right for the role, or do you have to sort of do, where do you start coaching someone, particularly when you're coaching them to sound like somebody else?
I know it's tricky. I mean, I come on board when the casting's been done. So obviously with a film like that, the artist is going to need a lot of coaching. It's to do with phrasing, breathing is really important. Making it look exactly right when they're doing those famous numbers, because everyone knows them so well. So you can't really do them differently,
You must know them better than anyone else, though, now, because I would imagine that when you knew you were going to be doing this, you watched these performers extensively.
Yes. We watched them together. We'd get into a coaching session and we'd say, right, we're working on this scene today. And we would watch Freddie or Whitney, really, really closely to see everything that they did in terms of phrasing and the style, the tone, everything. It's a real package really that they have to get together, and I'm so impressed that they can do it, as well as all the acting and everything they have to do speaking wise. Yeah.
So you're very much about other people, but actually, you yourself have got an impressive career, including being with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, being the soprano soloist in front of an astonishing number of people.
Yes, that was the opening of St Pancras station, the reopening, which was quite a big deal, actually. Very good to do, but it was one of the highlights, shall we say. And so was doing the ABBA show in Hyde Park. That was 37,000 people. And I had to sing a couple of solos in that. And Benny and Bjorn were there. So that was no pressure whatsoever.
I mean, incredible. And you must have, as part of your career, just met an array of the big stars, the household names.
Absolutely. And in fact, it's funny you were playing All Night Long there, because I was lucky enough to sing that with Lionel Richie on an audience with. So that was fabulous. Done a lot of TVs with various stars. And I'm really lucky that I've worked with a lot of very big names.
I'm just wondering where you find the time, because you've got Capital Voices, you've got your own performances, and then you've got the people that you coach as well. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is. It sort of works together quite well, because you could call it a one-stop shop, really, because if you call me, you can have me as a vocalist, you can have me plus other people. If you need a group of singers, I can do the vocal arranging, and I can coach if anybody needs any coaching on the project. So it does tie in quite well together, actually.
I think what stuns me as well is because I love going to the theatre. I love listening to the talent that's out there. But what strikes me whenever I go, it's not just about the singing. It's about everything. It's about the dancing, the acting, the performance. There's a lot of pressure on our performance for performers.
There is, yes. And I think people have to stay match fit in order to, especially when they're doing 8 shows a week. It's quite grueling, and the musicians as well. I know I'm digressing slightly, but my husband is a musical director and pianist, and he's doing Bat Out of Hell at the moment, the musical. And they've just gone off to Australia and New Zealand to do an arena tour. And, you have to really stay on the money, if you like, to be able to get through that sort of thing.
And in terms of, the television that you've been involved in as well. So you've been involved in X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, Friday Night is Music Night. And we're watching, particularly in the X Factor, a lot of very young, inexperienced performers sort of suddenly finding themselves in the national spotlight.
Yeah, and I think that can have sometimes a detrimental effect on people mentally. Because being shot to stardom like that is quite different from sort of coming up through, say, clubs or pubs or doing it that way. They sometimes they're not ready for it, and it can be quite a daunting prospect, really, or suddenly all the attention from the press and all that sort of stuff. It can, people have to be quite strong, I think
as well we forget, because you think about the big names as a result of it, sort of the likes of Harry Styles, but actually a lot of people, and I've spoken to a lot of them because we do a lot of theatre reviews here, and a lot of them have made a really successful career as a result of their appearance on the X Factor in things like West End shows.
That's true, yes. I think a few people have played Joseph in the West End, for instance. There's Alexandra Burke. I saw her the other day in Panto. She was fabulous. They do. I suppose it does help to catapult you into the West End or into shows, because you've got that name, that TV name behind you. So that's quite a useful platform.
What do you prefer, the coaching or the singing yourself?
I love both. I do love singing. I think I especially harmony singing. Actually, that's one of my favourite things, is close harmony singing. So singing in groups is a great thing for me. But I love coaching because it's great to see somebody grow and like when Rami got his Oscar, I was just so proud of him, and he sent me the most beautiful note afterwards. Thank me. So they're both really rewarding.
And what about finding new talent? So with Capital Voices, is it focusing on established people, or do you quite often nurture very new talent as well?
With Capital Voices, we have got I've got a very big database of singers, and I choose the right people for the right job. So it's not like an agency; it's more like I'm a vocal contractor, if you like. And we occasionally have auditions, but it's quite specific because we have to use what's called sight singers, which means you can pick up a piece of music and just read it straight off without having it played through, without having it what we call note bashed. So that's quite a skill in itself, as well as having a lot of versatility. We cover pop, rock, bit of light classical, bit of jazz, a lot of different styles, musical theatre, obviously. So people have to be very versatile, and that's what we look for.
Yeah, so people can come to you and I've sort of read the accolades. They know exactly what they're getting, and that you'll deliver somebody who's up to the job.
Yeah, well, so far so good. Let's put it that way.
But you've got something. I mean, I was saying what I find astonishing. I was in London quite just before Christmas and was in a bar which was absolutely full to capacity with very young people, and they were dancing to ABBA and Dancing Queen. And I stood there thinking, this song is possibly nearly 50 years old. Who would have thought it would be such a hit with young people all these years on? And you're part of a wonderful project where you're going to be performing some ABBA songs.
That's right. I'm amazed to say that the Perth Symphony Orchestra in Australia have invited me over. to sing, to do ABBA Symphonic with them in Joondalup. I think I've said that properly, which is the city. And it's just outside Perth. I'm taking Emma Kershaw, my colleague, with me. She's doing all the Frida stuff and I'm doing all the ABBA stuff and the Agneta stuff, sorry. And yeah, we're delighted to be going. Just for one concert as well. Amazing.
That's going to be wonderful. And actually, I bet that sounds stunning with the orchestra.
Yes, it is an amazing sound. We do quite a few here as well with the various symphony orchestras around the country, and they always go down so well with that beautiful lush sound from the orchestra and a rhythm section, obviously. And then, yeah, it's one of the most popular shows, I think. I think you can't go wrong with ABBA, can you, really?
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's just something wonderful about their songs. Now, it's a great year for you, actually, because you're also, in May, one of 4 soloists in a concert of Eurovision winning songs. Now, I'm not sure whether, and of course, you know, ABBA themselves have got links to the Eurovision Song Contest. Are the winning songs, you know, always of a good standard? They tend to be varied, don't they?
I think so. Some of them are better than others, in my opinion, and only in my opinion. Some of them are, I mean, I love them all because I think there's some are really camp, which I love. You know, we've got things like Kisses for Me by Brotherhood of Man. That's quite, you know, it's fun to do, though. I mean, this is a brand new concert we're doing, so I'm doing all the vocal arranging for it. Richard Balcombe is conducting it. And I think it's with the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra in Liverpool about a week before Eurovision happens there. And I think it's already sold out. It just sold out in minutes, I think.
Oh, that's going to be such fun, isn't it? Because I can imagine the atmosphere and the audience and, you know, how much people are going to absolutely love that.
I think so. I think people will be in the mood. And I hope they're all going to dress up as well and really get into the spirit of it. I think they will because it's that sort of concert. So we're busy working on that at the moment, actually. So lots of writing going on.
So it's a busy year, but an exciting year ahead. Is it hard? Because these Eurovision Song Contest songs, they're all written for quite a diverse range of performers with very different voices. So how do you manage then to sing all of them?
Well, I've put together a group of 4 people, and the idea is that 2 girls, 2 boys. So I've chosen one quite rocky guy and one sort of lower voiced, smoother sounding guy, and then with the girls, we're kind of mixing it up between the 2. But the main thing is that while one is doing the lead vocal, the other 3 are doing the backing vocal. So we've got to learn all that as well. It's not just doing the solo, you know, this is my solo and I'm not doing anything else. So when you're not singing a solo, you're doing the backing vocals for the other person. So I think it's going to be a really nice atmosphere because of that.
I know we're talking about, you know, professional singers, but actually a lot of people love to sing and they might not, you know, they might have been told when they're at school that they're no good at it. And what I think is lovely is more and more people are joining choirs and getting involved in singing as a way of communicating with other people for their mental health. What would you recommend to anyone that maybe isn't quite at the level that we're talking about, but wants to sing, wants to get involved?
I would absolutely encourage anybody who wants to join a choir, because I think it's such a community thing to do. Obviously, you're going to make new friends. It's not the end of the world if obviously professionally, yes, we have to be of a certain level. But I think with a lot of community choirs, it's more of that, you know, friendship thing and just having a great time. And there's nothing better to lift your spirits than having a good old sing.
Actually, music brings people together. You know, as I witnessed in this bar in London, people were brought together dancing by an ABBA song. And the same goes for choirs, and the same goes for, I imagine, when you're performing on stage and you just see that audience sort of all loving what you're doing, loving the performance, singing the songs along with you.
Yes, it's wonderful. And then when they're all getting up dancing as well, and it's just incredible, the atmosphere, you know, you really feel like you're communicating with the audience and yeah, I mean, it's just like one big party, really. It's fabulous.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, Annie, for joining us as our lunch break guest. Annie Skates, what an incredible year she has ahead of her. And we'll have another lunch break guest for you at the same time tomorrow afternoon.